You probably know that I don't usually do reviews, but we got early access to this episode thanks to CreepSwitch, so we decided to do a review. Heihachi vs Geese is episode 4 of season 8 of Death Battle, and it's mostly on par with the rest of the season. So far at least. Me, Hege and some other based individuals watched the episode early. Shout out to CreepSwitch once again for letting us watch it through Discord, hence why this review is hopefully dropping just after the episode goes public on YouTube. Since I watched it through Discord, I had roughly 5 frames per second frame rate, which was pretty shit, but I could still understand most of what was going on, and I didn't need to deal with live chat or any sponsors like I would have had to watch on YouTube. Oh yeah, this is probably the best time to mention I didn't know anything about either character before watching the episode, so this is based entirely off what I know from the episode and entirely off memory since I don't have the episode at hand to watch. And obviously this video will have spoilers for the result of the episode. I got a big fucking cluster headache during scripting, so I took a break. Let's move on.
I'm gonna lie with I have a yeast infection.
On the topic of the analysis, I really liked it. Even if I couldn't hear some of it over Hege and Britico singing the Family Guy theme song in a Discord call, what I could hear was excellent. As always, Wiz and Boomstick played well off of each other while still giving a rough understanding of each character to the audience. As I mentioned, I came into the episode knowing nothing about either character and left with a decent understanding of the two of them. The part where Geese holds up the body pill with a female version of himself on it after he gets called a weeb is pretty funny, and it was even funnier since CreepSwitch predicted it literally 2 seconds in advance on the call. There's not all that much that stands out to me about the analysis section, but it'll be a solid 7 or 8 out of 10, there was nothing bad about it. I do however think it's definitely above average. The fight was really enjoyable. The 2D sprite animation definitely fit the matchup well, and I didn't necessarily expect them to use 3D animation, but it just seemed like a matchup they'd get the SFM team to do. However, I am glad that they didn't. The fighting styles used in the fight accurately represent the characters in their own series, as far as I can tell, and I wasn't the only one to notice the kind of slow cinematic close-ups when a strong blow was landed during the fight. Heihachi speaking in Japanese with English subs and Geese speaking in broken English with great additions and portrayed both characters well as far as I know. Hege pointed out, no pun intended, that it would have been funny if Heihachi had stabbed him with his hair for the kill and blow, but realistically the result is exactly as I expected it to be. The two of them having a space probe battle would have been funny, but I don't think it would have fit the characters well, and it would have probably broken up the pacing of the episode quite a bit. The death was fantastic, and I'm pretty sure it's fitting for Geese to fall off of buildings and Heihachi to fall down volcanoes, so for Geese to fall victim to Heihachi's trope is pretty funny. The animation was an 8 out of 10, it was really enjoyable and I did really like it, but there wasn't anything substantial about it besides the death. I do have to say though, the attention to detail is excellent. I don't really care for the result since it's not a matchup I care all too much about, but I knew Heihachi before watching the fight, kind of, so I was rooting for him and I'm glad that he won. As I've already said, the death was cool as fuck and there's not that much to say.
Ryan, look out!
I do not care about Blake vs Mikasa. It's not the best Mikasa matchup, and everybody knows how much Rooster Teeth likes to shag their own arse by using their own characters, so it was expected when Mikasa was initially revealed. Most of us in the call were hoping for the next episode to be the Steven Universe fight, presumably against Star Butterfly, but hopefully that'll be coming soon. Next episode will be environment dependent on who wins, but I still don't really care, and I don't care for Blake vs Mikasa as a matchup. Overall, this episode was really good. Not one of my favourites, but above most, and I'd put it in an A or B tier in a ranking, and I personally think it's as good as Yoda vs Mickey, but it falls slightly short compared to Shadow vs Ryuko. Like I've said, this isn't a matchup that I care all that much for, but neither was Shadow vs Ryuko, and I'd quite enjoyed that episode in all honesty. I only heard of Ryuko through that episode, and I really enjoyed it. It was probably my favourite of the season so far. Back on the topic of this episode, the animation was great, the attention to detail was excellent, the result I don't really care about, and next time I definitely do not care about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know if you enjoy this style of video and if it's worth me continuing to make them. Check out my podcast available on YouTube and Spotify, and subscribe if you're new. Drunk Rat vs Bakugo will be coming to my podcast soon.